not true. Most of your narratives that you believe are from the existing structure of existing credit-based system. They would have to be, right? You live in a credit-based system. Yeah. You believe all the economists that tell you about that. You listen. It's around all. We've never lived in a truly global free market, because you know for sure prices would fall. So you know for sure that all of your narratives from that credit-based system also must be, something's misaligned, right? Something's wrong, right? That's why if you don't have falling prices, the faster productivity gains means prices should fall faster. If that's not happening in your economy, then you know you don't live in a free market. You live in a control system. And just that makes sense, right?
Like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I mean, I have some examples that I'd like some clarity, but also want to see what do you got? What do you have to say?
Yeah, so for me, like, I'm listening in, and a lot of this stuff is where okay, for instance, we increase productivity, but we would have to, the output of that would be, let's say, get rid of the wasteful productivity, right? So in a place where we're shifting into, we're trying to shift into a different structure, right? Like a paradigm shift, right? In between that time, wouldn't a lot of people, I don't want to, again, I have to kind of dig into really fully understand the transition, but wouldn't people have to, we can't eliminate people from suffering during that time, right?
So the suffering is so just like the deflation in the 30s, that was caused by a massive buildup of credit that couldn't be paid back. So it wasn't, people think that was the cause of the problem, the Great Depression. The cause of the problem was the Roaring '20s and a whole bunch of misallocated capital that had to be cleansed through the system. And they get what happened first inverted all the time. So because it was such a painful event on society, they go to that event and they say, we can't let that happen again, and actually make sure that that's going to happen again through the manipulation of currency. Right, and so you have to go back to first principles, and the first principles of an economy, or the natural state of the free market, is deflation. First principle of economy is prices fall in a free market fall to the marginal cost of production. From there, you can ask yourself questions: what's the marginal cost of production of a line of code? 0. That's why your calculator app on your phone is free, right? Because first entrepreneurs come in and they create new calculator apps that compete against Texas Instruments calculator, and then they can become better and better and better. And then as you can make $1 and then you can make 50 cents, 25 cents, penny, then they're all free, and the entrepreneurs go somewhere else. So from the next question, you have to ask, what's the marginal cost of production of a line of code creating other lines of code?
Less than 0.
Yeah.
0, right? Zero. Why do you think all the AI tools are becoming free and they're getting better and better at an exponential rate? DeepSeek, then others, and they just keep on. I have 7 different models on my computer. If I ever lost the internet, I have all of them for free forever, right? The entire history of knowledge, different versions of that history of knowledge on my computer, on this laptop, for free. So if somebody's going to charge me for a model that says $20 a month, and I get most of the functionality for free, what would I do as an entrepreneur with that? This would have to be so much better for me to use it, because I would have to provide value to other people or fail.
Jeff Booth, visionary Bitcoin leader and advocator, has recently broke his silence to speak the harsh truth that no one wants to hear about the sad state of Bitcoin at the moment. Lots of opinions and ideas about who and what is the purpose behind the lagging of Bitcoin and the greater stock market in general. Well, no need to stay puzzled anymore, since Jeff Booth figured out the culprit, and dear viewer, you are not going to like it. Welcome back to Investocracy Crypto.
It's so funny. What you're saying and the words that you're using are strikingly similar to the way that we discuss the perspectives of people as they enter like the event horizon of a black hole.
Yeah,
Your
totally.
perspective. when you see, you see someone entering the black hole, they redshift, but then from their perspective, it's something else. But in this analogy, like Bitcoin is the singularity, where once you cross that threshold, basically everything, all roads lead to it. You can live outside of it once you get close enough, or whatever it is. All roads, once you pass that event horizon, Bitcoin is a point in your future, right? It's like
that's it. And every single government, so I helped the city of Vancouver. They're thinking of putting it on their balance sheet for the same reason as everybody's putting it on their balance sheet. Because for me personally, it means my purchasing power increases forever. What about a city? Well, they take taxes from you to be able to provide services. And by the time they spend on the services, they can't provide the service they thought they were going to give, because the money's broken. So you complain to them, why are they taxing me more and more and more? Mm-hmm. It's because the money's broken, because the services don't go as far. And that exists everywhere. And then we're inside that system trying to gain more money inside that system, giving it all of our strength, yelling at this person or this person, when we could just move our energy to the honest system.
So Jeff, I do agree with your premise, your concept about, things should be fair, things should not be corrupted. Like when we work, the output of our work should be given to us for what the value is, right? And so what would you say, because I think for me, the hardest thing to grasp, especially if I try to talk to people about Bitcoin that are not in it, right? They say things like, well, it seems like a lot of people who criticize Bitcoin, they criticize it because it's not tangible. It's not something that they can touch. It's not like a home. I can't house a family with it, right? So,
which is interesting, because do they criticize this podcasting thing, or do they criticize Google or Facebook when they use these things every day that they can't touch? Right. The whole point of anything is to provide more value. This is what's different here is this is a base layer, provide more value to all of society by imposing the free market. You might not like it or not. They might not like it, but it's not negotiating with them. It doesn't care. They should care, but it doesn't.
This whole story began with Trump's sudden announcement of a strategic crypto reserve, a move initially met with enthusiasm. Bitcoin, the crown jewel of the crypto universe, surged past $94,000, and everyone thought it would continue to do so, and maybe even break new ground when we actually see the strategic crypto reserve being put into action, and not just a bunch of promises. But that's not what happened. Bitcoin, in fact, dipped and continued to dip further, showing all of us that Trump's actions on the stock market have started to affect the blockchain.
Speak anything about the finite supply.
So I consider that part of the unchanging rules.
Okay.
Right? Because when like incorruptible changing. So the way that that works, and the nodes control all of. So my node has to confirm all the transactions. Mm-hmm. What that would mean is my node would have to vote against my best interests for a change like that, and it won't happen.
But do you see the fact that Bitcoin has a finite supply as a fundamental reason why living within that system is the true free market?
Yes. It's a ledger that can't be manipulated. Yeah, it's a ledger that can't be manipulated. It's a ledger that can't change. Why can't it change? But it's not just that. It's a whole bunch of different pieces about that essentially enforces honest rules. I download open source code, run a node are these transactions what they said they would be? So it imposes essentially an honest ledger, and lots of people try to cheat this, right? FTX, and not the FTX but I suspect through banking, government, and everything else, FTX wasn't just like, if you think about how much money was spread around politicians. This was an attack against Bitcoin. So that they could try to regulate. So they could anybody who cheats Bitcoin gets wiped out, and they always have. If you were just honestly acted with the honest network and just bought it or held more of it instead of tried to consolidate it, you would do better than getting, and which is fascinating, right? It's the only time in history we've ever had something that the cheaters get flushed out.
And if that wasn't enough, economist Peter Schiff openly accused Trump of perhaps the most audacious crypto pump and dump scheme in history. Accusations of insiders cashing in on the strategic crypto reserve boom soon followed, leading some to demand a congressional investigation. Brilliant strategy or clever smoke and mirrors? One has to wonder. Either way, Schiff's bold claim adds yet another layer of intrigue to an already riveting financial saga. But before going any further, if you made it this far into the video, thank you. These videos take a lot of effort and time to make, so if you enjoyed them, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This goes a long way in helping us grow. That said, back to the video.
All you have to do is understand it, run a node, contribute to it, and all of a sudden you're part of a global consensus network that can't be cheated.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to say we are Bitcoin. It's not something outside of us. It's put the honest in control of a network for everybody. So it inscribes the best of us into a network for the best for us that can't be cheated. So as more and more people come and try and cheat it, and lots of people will, they'll try to consolidate it. And if you're trusting somebody else in to hold your Bitcoin, mm-hmm. you're introducing counterparty risk, right? And you're paying to introduce counterparty risk. Mm-hmm. It was just ludicrous, right? When you can hold in self custody, have no counterparty risk of and forever have increasing purchasing power.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why would you want to, if you knew what we just said, if you truly know, why would you be playing in meme coins? Why would you be playing in all of this nonsense?
Well, that's straight gambling.
And again, I go to Vegas every once in a while. I like gambling, but I'm not like
you don't have a big Shiba Inu position.
Exactly.
You're not
Bitcoin, while reeling from the recent crash, remains a tantalizing option. After all, forecasts hint at growth amidst the storm clouds, as market veterans navigate the ebbs and flows with practiced caution. But what do you think? Share your thoughts. And finally, if you would like to know more about cryptocurrencies, or specifically Bitcoin, go ahead and click on the next video on your screen. See you there.